What up, what up, what up? Thank you for tuning back in and listening. Pleasure. I'm your host, the one, the only Rob G.
I promise you one day it ain't gonna be all through a podcast. It's gonna be a conglomerate.
And also it brings it full circle. If you go into it and buy a property with a family member.
Welcome. Thank you for tuning back in. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for tuning back in and listening. Pleasure. I'm your host, the one and only Rob G. And tonight we're live with a very special episode. We want to take the time to really apologize. we have a lot of issues we're getting on tonight. And it was one of those situations, technical issues, background feedback, all types of things of that nature. But like I said, welcome back to Listening Pleasure. This is the episode Grief Has No Timeline, Part 2, The Journey Continues. Quick note before we get started. You know we had from our last episode, Miss Simone Burke Cousins, who was joining us to give good advice and everything else, to be here with us through your stories. Unfortunately, she had a last minute emergency and she had to cancel, which is unfortunately, so she couldn't join us tonight. Excuse me. Our thoughts are with her, and we hope everything is okay, and she'll be back with us soon on another episode. We have more entitled. We're going to do it a little different. But for now, we're going to carry on. We do apologize. I know some people are supposed to be on. They may be a little upset because they may miss their time. So we'll just go see how that go. But this show is always about you, your stories, your voice. We do have callers ready to share their journey with us tonight. Hopefully they're still in the queue. So without all that, let's get right to it. The lines are open. Let's continue this journey. You are not alone. Without further ado, y'all welcome to the stage. Y'all welcome my co-host, the one and only Mike V. Y'all welcome Mike to the stage.
What up? Y'all already know the vibe. Listening Pleasure the podcast, fam. Hit the button. Tell your people we outside. Or tell your people, tell they people we outside, man. You know how it go.
No question.
It's grief. We love to grief. We love to speak about different topics, but the information that we got from the first show was pretty dope. It let a lot of people know that you ain't suffering alone. And we just want to piggyback off that and keep this conversation going. What up, bro? How you?
Making it, brother. I can't complain. Without further ado, let me bring my other man on. Without further ado, y'all welcome to the stage. Y'all welcome my main man behind the scenes. Y'all welcome Heezy. Welcome Heezy to the stage.
Yo,
What's going on?
Everybody? Got a little car action tonight. I'm still here. You can see the teeth though. Can't you take it?
Yeah, man. It's all good. Yeah, man. So appreciate you being on.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a little feedback on your end, a little feedback on Mike, but we're gonna work through it. It is what it is. Let me see. I'm trying to mute Mike when we get to it. So for those that's on, we got a couple of y'all watching. Share, bring everybody in. Let's chat, let's get vibing. Y'all know how we do around this time. We're supposed to have a video loaded up to play for y'all, but I don't even know what all the issues, if it's gonna play. We can see if we can get to it in a minute though. Mike, What's happening? I'm gonna let you get the flow, man. I'm gonna mute you, let you talk.
I ain't really. I was struggling with trying to load up the video too. I was
Yeah.
struggling with trying to load up the video too. Um, Before we even get started, just know we working to fix all this stuff. Like when you got three different laptops and phones, and like man, you counting on everybody's devices to do what they supposed to do, and everybody's Wi-Fi, and man, but we working. I promise you, we working hard too hard.
What up, Scrap?
What up, Scrap? Appreciate you too, bro. Um, like grief, grief is crazy. Um, we was talking before we got on. Um, Man, when it, especially when you love somebody, right? And care for people, like it'll hit you in a wave you don't even see coming. Like it'll be some of the smallest stuff. Last 7 years, I lost my pop, I lost my mom, and I lost one of my best friends. And our situation was a little rough at the time of his passing, and I carry it every day. Like I carry it every single day. Like it's just random things that remind me of bro. And I think about the time that I missed with him, and man, some days easier than others for it not to bother you. Same with my parents. Like who I am becoming, who I have become, was who they always wanted to see. And they got to see glimpses, but they not seeing me as seeing to where I think they always thought I could go. And yeah, it be some rough days tied to that. It be some rough days tied to that. Because like I'm not one of them people who try to keep you here. Like I understand that everybody gotta go, and you know what I mean, but that don't mean you don't miss people. That don't mean you don't miss people. And that don't mean that a random smell or a random saying or a random song won't come on and take you down a tunnel, and before you know it, you all in your emotions. I think it's a good thing to show you human, but it's a journey. Like it's a journey. It's a journey. Everybody disappeared on me. So I'm gonna go and put my good news out. uh, I have took the next step in refereeing, and I just officially got my high school rule book, position book, and I should be on the field for some JV games this year, middle school games this year. So I'm proud of myself. Proud of myself. I started refereeing because I thought my flag career was over and just didn't know what to do with my Sundays for real, man. Like we've been attacked. Like if you really think about it, Rob, we were playing tackle football on Sunday every Sunday since we was like 12 or 13. Like I don't know what to do with my Sundays without some type of football. So I really started refereeing just trying to stay around my flag guys that I grew up, grown to respect and appreciate, and watch how the game grew, and got the opportunity to coach the youth. I mean, ref the youth. And 4 years later, man, I'm about to step on the high school field. So I'm gonna tip my hat to myself this time. I know black people say you conceited when you do that, but man, if you don't root for you, ain't nobody gonna root for you. Sometimes you gotta let yourself know that you proud of you, so all the work that you doing don't just feel like it's in vain or unappreciated. I kind of pride myself on trying to be my own biggest cheerleader. So, and I don't see her in here, but I know she in here. Hey, my wife. So yeah, let me go and put that out there.
No question. So, what's been going on? I'm gonna get cheesy on the stage. What's been going on with you, brother?
Yo, ain't nothing much, man. Just trying to navigate this life thing out, man. Work behind the scenes, try to get a little bit of more understanding of technology. Y'all know I love my technology. But yeah, that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Got the grandbabies here with us, so they running me to death, man. I ain't lying. Then my other new grandbaby, I wait on her. Did act like he don't, if he watching, he act like he don't want to let me keep the baby. And I keep telling him, I said, man, I ain't lose nail one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, it's me, man. I'm Big Joe now.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm Big Joe now, man. You know what I mean? But that's it, though. Just living life. Shout out to my homeboy, my Ace Boon Coon, be easy. He up in the alley right now. He's celebrating his son. I wish I could have been there with him. But, Destiny took me another route this night. But shout out to my nigga, be easy, man.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Ray. Ray.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I actually was telling him I was gonna be there, and I forgot all about it when I was at practice, and I thought about it this morning. I was like, I ain't gonna have time making it from practice, shooting here to get on. But yeah, definitely get it. Um, I got any one of you guys on mute. You can mute yourself. Anyone that you want to start off about your journey or anything about grief. And well, before I let you guys go, um, grief don't necessarily have to be a loss of a loved one. It could be your pet. It could be the loss of your, financial situation, job, uh, your health. You know what I mean? It's a whole lot of things you could have grieving about. So it's the floor is one of you guys before I get going and whatever I have to say.
I jump up there first. I jump up there first with my journey of grieving. Close your eyes and think about 1992. Where was you at in 1992? What was you doing in 1992? Then it take me all the way up to October 22nd, 1992. Changed my life, the trajectory of my family's life forever. I lost a brother that night. For everybody who know from downtown Newport News, I lost Andre Renell Edmonds. He was one of a kind, loved by all, didn't have a hate in his body, and he was sadly murdered that night. And that's my first grief that ever existed in my presence that touched me. It wasn't a loss from a car accident. It wasn't a loss from a sickness. It was a loss from due to the hands of another human being. So at the tender age of 12, the Bible says, you're accountable for all your sins. So in October, when he died, I was only 12 years old for 1 month. So just to put that in y'all mind, and from that day forward, I've been asking the universe, not God, but I've been asking the universe, what's on the other side? Because I wanted to know, was my brother okay on the other side? Like, what is there on the other side? And when you grieve and you have religion, y'all know I went to church with me, Mike, Rob, and the family. And when you got religion, it's you everybody say, he went up to heaven and he in the house of the Lord, and at a tender age of 12, trying to understand that, plus navigating going into your teenage years, and just things that normal 12-year olds do. It took my life in a crazy turn because I was thinking about stuff that 12-year-olds don't think about. You know, why didn't my brother run? Or, you know, just those things I kept asking myself over and over with the grief. Like, I had never seen my mother cry until my brother died. My 12 years of my life, I had never seen my mother cry until that day. So that stuck with me as well. Like, dang, I thought she was the strongest person in the world to me. You know what I mean? Even though she had her flaws, she still was mama. So when I seen mama break down, and I can recall that day vivid, the next day over, you had all his friends coming, and he died at 21, so most of his friends between the ages of 17 to 25. And I'm picking up grown men. They walking up to me. I'm standing in the yard, Rob house right beside me, and it's grown men coming up and saying, "Is it true, Lil Joe?" They call me Lil Joe. "Is it true, Lil Joe?" And I was like, "Yeah, he gone." This is 12-year-old. I'm talking to men. And I would see grown men fall to their knees, screaming and yelling. And before this point, just to give y'all some clarification of Newport News, where I'm from, I think only two other individuals, for the most part, that I knew had got murdered, and that was Linwood's Bond's brother. I think he got murdered in '91, and Wayne Johnson, he had got murdered. But you know, that wasn't like at home. But the moment my brother was murdered, that grief, the moment you realize that somebody took his life, the grief had set in. And from that day forward, October 22nd, 1992, I've had a constant question in my mind: is he okay? Did he make it to where everybody say he's supposed to go? So when you talk about grief, like Rob said, it could be anything, but for me, it was literally at that tender age of 12, knowing your brother died at the hands of another man. And it played tricks on my mind. I tell a lot of people this, and I don't say this to be like I'm demonic or a demon or nothing, but it's a monster inside of me, because I got to keep this monster contained, because what I felt that night, and looking at my family and looking at my mother cry, I wanted to kill someone that night. So to have that on my heart, I'm 45, I'll be 46 this year. And to have that on my heart that long, a lot of people don't know how that feels. I must say less than 1% of the world really could say how that feels. Well, from back then. So my grievance, like I say, my grievance started at 12, and I've been angry, upset. Um, I'm not gonna give y'all the backstory of what actually transpired, but he was walking home and he got killed. He stopped by our house on the way home. I'm watching baseball. That's why I don't watch baseball too much, and I don't vote, because he died the year Clinton got in office. This is a week before the elections. My brother died a week before the elections. I don't even think Rob knew that about me, but that's why I don't vote. Um, I don't watch baseball because the World Series was on. I want to say the Blue Jays was playing somebody or something to that nature. But he stopped at home and he called me Uis. That was my nickname. He stopped me at home. He called me Uis. So imagine you seeing your brother, because he had to walk from this party. You seeing your brother that night. You go to bed, and we was waking up by knocking on the door. Batman, came and told our family what had happened. So, but grief is grief can consume you, because it has consumed me more years of my life than not that I've been alive, but for the average individual to have hate, and I'm gonna say it, the average individual to have hate, especially at my age, because it wasn't a lot of murders back then, but I had hate in my heart for a long time. When I say a long time, and I couldn't bottle it up, and I couldn't really express it. Excuse me. I didn't get no counseling. When I got back to school, I went to the counselor office. She asked me, but it won't really no counseling. Then it was, life went back to normal, and I didn't properly get to grieve as a 12-year-old should have. Um, I'm pretty sure it calls PTDS or however you say that. I'm pretty sure it caused that as well. Um, it did deter me from guns and gangs. I can't say that, but back to just the grieving part. Like I've been grieving since I was 12 years old, and it hurts that I couldn't get it out when I needed to get it out and move. I couldn't move on in life. I smiled a lot. I played with all my homeboys. I did everything. But at night, I was empty. At night, when I had to sit and, cry in that pillow and ask God or ask the universe, I'm sorry, why did you take my brother? Both my brothers got shot that night. One survived, one lived. And I'm gonna tell you something that was so crazy that stuck with me it still stick with me to this day. My pops, right? When we was on the way up to the hospital, I heard my daddy, he said, God, if you take one and leave one, take my sickest son and leave my strongest one here. And for a long time, I hated him for that. Because I'm like, who would ask God to take their son away? And for a long time, I hated my daddy for that. And then when I got to age and I talked a little bit more about, the process of grieving and stuff, I finally understood what he was talking about. Um, this past, I was just telling Rob, August the 2nd made 3 years that my oldest brother had passed away. Um, and for everybody who don't know my backstory, in 18 months, I lost four people that grew up in the house with me. My mama, my daddy, my sister, and my oldest brother. Um, it's just me and my other brother that's left. Um, and I haven't, with these past four deaths in my life, I haven't grieved at all because my old lady, she lost her daddy right after my sister and daddy, and then she just lost her mother this year. So death has been around, and this grieving stuff been around, floating around in my atmosphere for a long, long time. But I suggest if you are grieving, go get some help because it could drive you crazy. It could mentally mess you up. I think I'm strong enough from the first episode of my life. Even though I need to talk to somebody, I need to get it out. I need to just let it all come out. I still haven't let all of it come out. You know, um, Getting the call your mother passed away, getting the call your sister passed away. I watched my daddy take his last breath. He died a week after my sister. He died technically 6 days after my sister. He never got to know my sister had passed away. I was on my way to tell my daddy, hey dad, your daughter died. He was already transitioning. So grief is a motherfucker. Excuse my language. Grief can be a savior. Grief can be a lot of things, but I do say this. Please, if you are grieving, especially around death, get some help. Talk to somebody. Get it out because it will consume you inside and out. I promise you that it will consume you inside and out. And one other story, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the floor up. When Rob say that you can grieve over different things, uh, my daddy had stole my remote control car one time, and he sold it. And I've been mad at him. I was so mad at him. I grieved over that damn motor control car. You hear me? When I say I grieved, nigga, I grieved over that motor control car. But that's my little stance on grief. And like I say, if you're grieving, talk to somebody, pastor, counselor, friend, pillow talk. I don't care what. Let that stuff out, cause it will consume you, and your heart will, especially in my situation, your heart could be filled with hatred. And for a long time, to. It took me a long time to get that hate out of my heart. Now I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It took a long time to get that hate out of my heart. But y'all gotta understand, I was a 12-year-old kid growing up downtown Newport News, and the situation happened to me. But that's my grieving story, y'all. I got it out. Uh, First time a lot of y'all done heard this stuff. So, that's why I'm a little crazy. If y'all be like, man, that nigga Joe crazy. That's why I'm crazy. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
We definitely appreciate you for jumping on, giving your story. Uh, it take a lot of courage for anybody to come on and give a story. We do have another guest that came on and share their story. Um, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm reading. There was a couple of guests that was getting on. Say they thought we was off. I guess they're trying to get on there because we didn't come on promptly at 9. But that's why I'm keep looking down at the phone. There's a whole lot going on. But without further ado, I hope she's ready to share her story. I know she's new to this type of platform, I believe. So y'all welcome Miss Melissa. Y'all give a round of applause for Miss Melissa. I gotta take you off mute, or maybe you gotta take yourself off.
Okay, there
Oh,
it goes.
there you go. Yep.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How's everybody?
We doing all right.
That's good. That's good. Um, yeah, I'm glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. Glad to have you on for the night. So, I don't know no way to get into it or dive into it. So, give us what you story you want to give us about your grief, any grief you have tonight.
Um, okay, so I am a 33-year-old widow with 5 children. I got married at 19 and I became a widow at 30.
Mm-hmm.
And the transition from having the expectancy of a two-parent household while raising children, it dwindled a lot because it was unexpected that I would be in a position that I'm in. It's been 3 years now. I can say that it has gotten easier, but then when I look at my children and I look at my capacity to be able to steward over them, um, sometimes I do feel like I'm lacking, um, because I have 3 boys and 2 girls, um, and I'm doing all that I can, especially for the boys. It's one thing to be able to raise girls because I'm a woman myself, but it's another thing when it concerns stewarding over young men who are expected to hold on to like masculine like attributes. You know what I mean? Um, and for me, I'm a little sensitive, and I look at my boys and I'm like, even though I do have them at football, and that's how I met Coach Rob, even though I do have football and I have them in football, there's certain traits that I'm looking at, especially with my oldest. Like his first thing to do is cry. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and I'm trying to explain to him that it's okay to cry. It's okay to have weak moments, but it's not okay to put yourself in a weak moment every time to cry. And so I'm trying to create that in him because it's one thing for me to cry, but as a man, you're going to get a different type of scenario. You're going to get a different type of audience that's going to view you. Um, but yeah, it's letting go of the expectation that you thought you did it right. You thought you settled down, wanted to raise a family and things of that sort. And then you're grieving your husband. You're grieving what could have been. Um, and you're basically grieving the life that you thought that you would have. and then you're grieving certain things that would allow that you're grieving in a sense where you're wondering if you're enough to be able to steward over the children that you have. And sometimes when it regards that, you just got to remind yourself that if it was allowed to happen, then the capacity that you need to maintain what has happened will be given to you. And
Hmm.
I look at that often. I look at that often because I think of it as a muscle. You know what I mean? You got to constantly make sure that you're able to hold the weight that's on your head. And what do you do to make sure that you hold the weight? You carry the weight. You know, you endure the weight. You get familiar with the weight. And then sometimes when you lean to the left and maybe the left is a little too, the right is a little too heavy, you find a way to balance it. And I can definitely say that we found a way to balance. They eat up my house, but God has made a way. He's made a way.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
them boys. Yeah, they gonna. I can only imagine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna get worse. You got three of them playing football. They as they grow, man. Oh man.
Yeah. I'm waiting for it. I ain't gonna say that on here, but I got something for him. I got something for him hanging up in the closet on the hanger. I got something for you.
I only can imagine.
Look.
Daddy, look.
But yeah, that's my story. That's that. That's that. It
So
does get
for
easier. Hmm.
yes, so for someone that's maybe going through your situation when you have those challenging days, what help gets you through those days?
What helped me get through those days, honestly speaking, my kids know that it's just me. I didn't expect again to be now a 33-year-old widow. I didn't expect that. So, but during the time that my husband was sick, the children knew. And so it was a mental preparation as well as a physical preparation for them. You're gonna have to learn how to do your laundry. You're gonna have to learn how to cook something because at the end of the day, if you have nobody, if something, God forbid, happens to me, you gotta learn how to make sure that you and your siblings are okay. And so there are times when it's just like I'm running about, taking them to football practice, getting the two girls ready, or whatever the case may be. We have no choice but to lean on each other. We're a household that will either rise in unity or fall in separation because one of you decided you no longer wanted to be a part of upkeep. And it's real. It's real. It's preparing you to know. And they're young. My oldest is 13 and my youngest baby is 5. But at the end of the day, my 5-year-old know how to put a little bacon in the microwave and say, "Okay, mom, I did it." And it's just a mental preparation for them. And sometimes when I'm not feeling my best, there comes that little sensitivity or that empathy where it's like, "Okay, mom, I'll cook dinner," or "Mom, I'll help clean up. What do you need from me?" And it works for us. It definitely does. But you definitely have to prepare them beforehand because I remember when the day after we had my husband's funeral, I had to go to work the next day starting a new job. And it wasn't about not being able to do it because I have 5 kids to take care of. So the next day after the funeral, there I am starting a new job. And I used to work for CPS. And at that point in time, before I worked for CPS, it was like, okay, how am I going to steward over these kids? And again, that's where learning how to cook, setting cameras up in the house. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And from them, they learn that they do have a sense of maturity. But I also will say, like who you had on prior to, talk to somebody because I just recently set my kids up for therapy and myself because you don't want to be a liability to the world because of the fact that you don't know how to separate your emotions from reality. You know what I mean? Because your reality will dictate your emotions without any type of stipulations or anything. Sometimes it can be a little explosive. Um, but we've gotten there. So they're due to start their therapy sessions. But one thing I can thank God for, especially my daughter, because she was around the longest time. She's 13. She told me I'd rather have one parent that cares than two parents that don't. And so that made me feel good about the fact that even though I feel like I fall short, I got somebody that looks at me like I don't. or or that I'm doing my best. So it makes it good, makes it better.
Okay, I gotta jump in right quick.
Okay.
And I'm jumping in. This ain't even about grief. It's something that, like, I constantly talk to my wife about. We have all the conversations in the world
Mhm.
about everything, and that's why I love her so much, because I could talk to, like, we could start talking about the different type of fish in the sea, and we don't know none of them, but we're gonna talk about it. Like, and one of the things that, as a parent, right, you have to understand, and this is hard. This is hard for most parents to understand. We are way harder on ourselves than them kids are. And the kids are really the judge of how good of a parent you are.
Right.
Like, it's a lot of parents that say they did all they can and through the eyes of their kids. No, you didn't. You did it your way. Like,
Well,
when you get those compliments, like your daughter just get, like you said your daughter gave you, like, that's reason enough to go on for 25 more years for. Like, I mean, from my standpoint. But again, like, I've never said I'm a good father, I'm this, I'm that. I kind of let my kids let you know that. I can't, like, because I believe, like, you a parent over your children. Like, so, like, if you went to a restaurant, like, if you was a cook at a restaurant, you can say how good you cooked all you wanted to. Once you
mm-hmm.
feed it to people, they judge how good that food is, though.
Right.
And it's kind of the same thing with parenting. You just can do, like, if you know in your heart you doing the best you can and you giving your all. That's really all you can do.
Right.
You rolling the ball out and giving yourself the best chance for them to succeed. And a lot of times we beat ourselves up for years before we find out how they look at us, and we find out they think we did a great job. You see what I'm saying? So please don't beat yourself up constantly. Like, it's kind of hard not to some days. Like,
Mhm.
it's just human nature. It's just human nature. But please don't beat yourself up a lot, cause
Appreciate that.
from what you saying, from what I see football practices and teaching them how to cook, and, like, you're doing as much as you can, and they'll kids, if they don't get their way, they hate you for a day.
I
You
was a
know what I
kid
mean?
too.
Like,
Yeah.
if you take that game right now, they gonna hate you for about 3 hours. But in the grand scheme of things, they gonna understand, and you get your validation later in life from two things: one, they become productive citizens, and two, they'll look you in your eyes and tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm waiting for that. I definitely, because I used to be a lot harder on my mother and my father until I became a mother and I understood that they were who I needed, or you know what, they were who they were at the time, that they could have the capacity to be who they were, and who I needed was who stepped in their lack. And so I had godparents, you know what, I had grandparents, I had aunts and uncles that came in to also steward. And so I do believe in a big community. I do believe that it takes a village to raise a family, because if you have a lack, then I expect someone else to come in from the back and be like, okay, let me hold that up from the back for you, or let me hold that up for the side for you. And so when my kids get yelled at on the field, nah, go ahead, yell at them if you want to. Because it does take a village.
Yeah, truly.
So I just
Uh,
wanted to piggyback that real quick. Uh, as a kid, I got laughed at the most in my friend group because my parents put belt to ass. I was on punishment all the time. My mama came to school and two-pieced me one time. Like, but, and in that moment, you don't like it. You don't like it. But I got grown, and with the exception to most of my friends that I went to church with and my brother-in-law, all my friends from when we was little, they went to prison. My daddy belt kept me out of prison. So as a 22-year-old, I could look that man in the face and say, hey man, thank you. Thank you. Because think about it, Rob. I got in trouble all the time. And even after I got in trouble again. If somebody won't trying to stop that, man, I would have. I ain't gonna say names up here, but we know some people in our neighborhood, I would have been just as bad as them people. Juvenile life and going right back to prison. Like I would have been them people too. So yeah.
I dig it. I definitely dig it. But I wanted to ask this. So like you said, you got different ages.
Mhm.
So each of your children I have different ages. So and they was at a so I mean, they was at different stages when they
Mhm.
father passed or whatever. So how have you navigated supporting each of them like individually with their own process of dealing with the loss?
I'm still trying to navigate that. And the reason why I say that is because my boys, the 10-year-old, so 10, 8, 7, and 5, they have a recollection of their dad, but it's not one that is so vivid, you know what I mean? But the 13-year-old, because she's going through her own emotions, she's trying to process who she is as an individual,
Mm-hmm.
and things of that sort. Her, it's a little different. It's a lot different. The boys, they know that they have dad or they had a dad, but because of the fact that they were so young when he transitioned,
Mm-hmm.
it was always mom, 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 mom. And mom was a caretaker of dad too. So they always knew dad is not being well. So it's the girl for me. It's the girl for me because there's a lot of things that I feel like a dad would have contribute to making her to know her value and things of that. So and I do that as a mother. But it's something different when she's having experiences where her friends are dating and things of that sort, and she's not at 13. And she's not in agreement with it, but she also doesn't have that knowledge of um just I guess that contribution of what a good man is and why you should wait and things of that sort. And it's not to say, and she's not interested in any of that stuff at all, but it's like she's seeing her friends, and
Mm-hmm.
so she's like, Ma, why they just hopping from this person to that person, and she's very close and she's in the house most days, because we just moved here from Texas, so she doesn't have anybody at all. She's just locked up in her room. And so she's trying to process emotions, which is why I had to introduce therapy, because if I can't break into you, that's where that village comes in. If you don't feel comfortable expressing certain things to me, and she does feel comfortable expressing certain things to me, but sometimes it takes for someone who doesn't know you for you to feel um like you don't have to be ashamed of asking certain things or talking about certain things. And I understand that, and I feel like that doesn't make me lack as a parent because I can't fulfill that role, but it makes me have to delegate, and so hopefully she'll have that understanding of why I had to do that as well. But yeah, it's the oldest, because puberty and things of that sort is coming into play, and learning herself, and not exactly knowing where she came from either, because dad's side is all the way in Nigeria. So it's just my side that she has direct communication with. And so my brothers do step in, my dad does step in, but they're all the way in New York. So there's still like a long branch that still needs a little bit more consolidation and a lot more closure, but we're making it.
Correct. Got you. So like on a I guess you say like on the brighter side. So
Mhm.
like, is there a moment you could think of when one of your children said or did something that was unexpectedly like that helped you through one of those hard days that you can remember offhand?
Honestly, it's that cooking business. It's really that, and coming home to the house cleaning like mom. I remember one time where I was just completely out of it. I just wanted all my kids to sleep in one bed with me. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
like that now, just get out. But I just wanted them all in one bed with me because I felt like if they were all in separate rooms, it was just like you're going to be taken too. I just needed that closure. And two of them was like, Mom, I got dinner. And then the other ones was like, okay, I'll clean up. We'll take out the dog or whatever the case may be. And it was then that I was like, okay, they understand empathy. They understand that they have roles. They
Mm-hmm.
understand, that when someone lacks, that they can have the opportunity or take the opportunity to make up where a person lacks, and they're not selfish or inconsiderate because they realize that mama's down. They realize, and I talk to them and I'm very upfront with them. I didn't expect to be 33 with 5 kids and being a house manager. I'm gonna need you to get your stuff together. So we have those real raw conversations, and they understand that unexpected situations cause for necessary implementation.
Correct.
Yeah, so they have that understanding. So those moments get me through because sometimes I don't even need to explain to them that mama needs a little help. Mama needs you to make sure that the house is clean up. Or when I bring, food in from going grocery shopping, I shouldn't have to put it up. You put it up. And they do that.
Mhm.
So still got some ways to go, but we're climbing.
I get it. I get it. I definitely understand. And then one of y'all want to ask a question to say something before I know I've been asking.
I just want to say, keep doing a great job. Stay on top of them. Uh, and ask them about their feelings. I didn't have nobody to ask me about my feelings. Like it was when I say it was a crazy situation, even though our situations are different,
Mhm.
from sickness to murder, still ask them, pull them to the side one by one, set aside some time throughout the month just for, to have that talk with each individual one and never, I know you're not gonna do it, but never, never let them, not remember their pops and stuff like that. But
Right.
continue to talk to them, continue to show them, that love. You have a great story. Hopefully, if you put it on Facebook or YouTube or something, I'll follow you for sure.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you. And I do that definitely. Ask them how they feel. Ask them, and dad is buried here in Virginia. So if they want to go visit his site or anything of that, so I leave that up to them and their discretion. I might not like going to cemeteries. That's just something for me that I don't like. But if you feel like you want to go put flowers down, if you want to, like all his birthdays, we still celebrate his birthday. We blow out the candles and we have pictures around the house. So there's no way to forget him. But it is hard because they're growing up without him, you know, and that's the hardest thing is having to fight to remember. So, but yes, thank you.
No problem. Mike, let me unmute you. I forgot I got you on mute, man. Oh, man, you might gotta unmute yourself. Oh, I thought I did.
Man,
Okay.
they
Yeah, go
can't
ahead.
silence the champ. Oh, my bad. um, yeah, just to piggyback what Joe's saying, like take it a day at a time. Take it a day at a time. We are, I think we are collectively. I don't know if sorry is the word, but our heart goes out to you for your loss.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, just keep plugging away. One of the things that it seems like is that you keep them in mind constantly and their well being. And I know that's hard because you grieving too. It's a clan of grievers. But like Joe said, one of the things in our community that we don't do is like anytime you cry or any of that, like anytime you go through something where you have a moment of weakness, people make you feel weak. And I think you guys' common grief could actually make you stronger.
Mhm.
Because all, even though everybody's going through it individually, you all know, like, no, ain't nobody faking it. Like somebody really went through, like we all went through something. It's gonna be like, and because you'll have one day that it get to you, it might be 4 more days down the line before it get to your daughter, but you understand it because you're going through it too. And I think y'all can bond, and it can make you stronger, understanding that we all have to get through this together.
Right. Absolutely right. I appreciate
Understood.
you.
Mike, we had a comment. Read that. I can't see that.
Oh man, how you gonna say you can't see it? This is a very good show tonight. A lot of women need to hear this. As a single mom, she's on point. Great mom.
I
Just
appreciate
left my gym and I'm tired as hell, but great show so far. Peace. Appreciate you,
What's
Flake.
going on, Flake? What's up, Flake?
And and again, man, like you said something else. And again in our community, like I mentor. I've had a not directly, but I've heard and I know he was telling the truth. Well, a kid had lost his father, and he was also the mother's, I guess, living boyfriend for years.
Mhm.
And when we got called, the mother, like I want to say the kid was 15, his dad had been murdered maybe a year prior.
Mm.
Now the mother told us that she wasn't over his death. But then the kid acting out, the first thing she said to us was, I don't want to hear nothing about him missing his daddy. How? You 20 you 20 plus years older than this kid and you can't get over it that fast. That's his world. Like I don't think people understand like parents are superheroes to kids, right? So you lose your favorite person in the world, man. That's tough. And I said that to say like we all understand that talking to somebody is a good thing. Like sometimes you need to talk just to talk. Like I don't need you to say nothing. I don't need like man, just let me talk. But
Just let
you
me cry too. Yeah. If
so
I need to, yeah.
yeah, like give them all safe spaces, and it look like that's what you're doing. You're proactive. You're looking into counseling for them, so each individual person can be worked on. Like,
Yeah.
just keep pushing forward.
I appreciate that.
And I ain't really one for this, but I will say this: God's plan will show itself. It'll show itself.
I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that because that's one thing that I teach them as well because that God is the head of my life with everything because I'm like if it wasn't for him, I don't know how I would have been able to start work the next day after the funeral. Daycare was already in place. It was just like supernaturally everything fell into alignment because God saw that there was a need. And he said he takes care of the widows and the fatherless. And I can honestly attest to the fact that that is absolutely true without a shadow of a doubt because we're making it. One income, one parent, all the kids are taken care of. They have a community, they playing football. Football ain't cheap for three boys, you know what I mean? And so, like, God really does make up for where we lack. And I can't say that enough. And so they know that, you know. So I appreciate you.
No doubt.
Real
I
quick,
just know. Go ahead, Mike.
real quick. What up, Tom? I don't see JoJo. And I said that because I seen JoJo ride past me earlier today, and I want to see his comments so I can tell him that was me that screamed at him out the window when he would ride
Yeah,
past.
you know what? I ain't even thinking about that.
Hey, y'all know what's crazy? Uh, did didn't DJ just say that on like 2 episodes ago?
What about the God plan?
Yeah, and he looked out for the widow and the fatherless. I was just sitting here thinking,
Yeah,
Mm, you might have did.
go ahead. You was about to say something.
I don't know. I was about to say something about moving forward. I forgot what it was.
Moving forward is just putting one foot in front.
My bad. I had mute. I had mute on you by mistake.
You good? Moving
But
forward is just putting one foot in front of the other.
facts. I was gonna speak on it about like this. I was saying, because some people think when they think about moving forward, it's like they forgetting a person. It's like moving forward doesn't mean you moving on. So it's like you don't leave them behind. You carry them with you in a different way in every new chapter,
Yeah.
everywhere you go. So that's a lot of things people have struggles and that process right there. Like they don't know what to do. You know what I mean? So you just got to look at it. You're moving on. That person will want you to continue to move on, and you're not leaving them. You're just carrying them with you. They always be there.
Yeah. Especially when I got what, five legacies. You know what I mean? All of them have his last name, and so they're gonna know who the Jeroboams are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're gonna know him by his fruit. And so that's why I make sure that I'm stewarding over them, because as much as they are a part of him, they also are a representation of me as well.
hmm
So that's the only way that I can see fit to make sure that their introduction into the world is one that says that they might not have it all together, but again, I'm not introducing liabilities. I'm introducing legacy. And I think about that.
hmm. That's crazy. I was going to say something
And
about legacies, but go ahead, Mike.
and you actually honoring that person by moving them. Like you actually doing that person a disservice by saying staying stuck and staying in that grief. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
if you love that person and that person love you, that person want to see you with the best life possible. They want to see you do as well as in life as possible. They want to see you prosper. You and like I don't think nobody, if wherever people go when this all said and done, right? I don't think nobody up there, down there, wherever that is going. Man, you better not move out of my house. You better not sell that house, get that money, and move on. You know what I mean? Like, I think people like them people who people care about on both sides. I think they want to see you succeed, and I think you doing them a service by doing the best you can and moving on. And again, not moving on from them, but moving on with life. Because since I was a youngin, um, probably like 19, one of my favorite sayings is, "Man, it don't matter what happened today, cause the sun gonna come up tomorrow."
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
the bill, it sound cold and heartless, right? But the bill man don't care. They gonna turn your lights off. You don't go get some money.
Correct.
So you don't like you you already took a loss. You don't want to then lose that. Woo, that was tough, boy. You pretty good with that. You already took a loss. You don't want to lose everything in the middle of that though,
Mhm.
including yourself. So you kind of have to push on. And again, like I know the people I try to honor that ain't here with me no more. I know in my stagnant moments, those are the people I think about. I feel like I'm doing wrong by them by not trying because most of them believe in me wholeheartedly. So I think I'm doing them a disservice by not trying to be the best human being I can be.
I agree.
I dig it. I just hate this. Let me mute Mike. Okay, I just hate this biggest. I'm gonna be. We on the show, so I ain't gonna talk crazy. When people say the dumbest statements like just get over it, move on. Like you got to understand, there's a new normal for people that went through that situation, and there's no getting over it. You know what I mean? You just gotta. It's only getting through it. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's together with everybody. You're not grieving alone. You're not going through it alone. There's actually people out here, and you can take it one day at a time, one situation at a time. You know?
Man, them same people that'll tell you to get over it, throw a whole day away because McDonald's put onions on their Big Mac, bro. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like the same,
Mhm.
like when something happened to them, it don't matter what it is.
Mhm.
The biggest thing that ever happened in the world. But when they look at other people, like again, it's easy to throw touchdowns on Monday when it ain't 300 pounders running at you. It's easy when you're not going through it to tell people how they should feel. Like I known Joe a long time, and I known Joe's story. But as he talked, like you really didn't know. Do that if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I know the story, but I don't really know. And 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 so looking at him and saying, "Well, it won't that bad." Like, how you gonna tell me? How
Um,
can you tell me what's bad for me? How can you like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those the people I kind of don't want to talk to a lot, cause most of them people negative all the time. Like
yeah.
it don't matter what you say to them, they gonna say something negative.
Like they're very calloused. And I think a lot of people like that haven't had the opportunity or don't want the opportunity to deal with emotion. It's like build a bridge and get over it. And it's like if I don't have to acknowledge it, then I don't have to feel it. So if I don't acknowledge it, then there's no way for me to, stand in that space and let you see how vulnerable I am. A lot of people don't like being vulnerable. And I
Yep,
mean, I understand it. I understand it. But at the end of the day, if you have a lack in regards to vulnerability, how can anybody get to know you to help you heal, to love on you in spaces where you've been depleted? And I
correct,
think about that when it concerns community again, because you never know what a person is struggling with behind closed doors.
correct.
Never know.
And it's like it's really no timeline. Like you can't put no timeline on nobody. There's no timeline for grief. There's no expiration date. There's no. I don't know. People just go left field. So healing takes time. You know what I mean? And in the process, like you said, the community asking for
Mhm.
help is a very, very courageous step. You know what I mean? Because, like you said, most people don't want to ask for help, but when you have the courage to ask for help, it's huge.
Like in her situation, right? She saw forever. Like she saw till death do us part. She
Mhm.
didn't know death do us part meant 33 or at the
30.
age it happened. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was forever for her. So how do you go from thinking I have a forever with a human and then it just now that we don't have forever, it's just over.
It's
Like
like
I
what happened? Life is
like
life is but a vapor.
like
Literally.
because you said 13 is the oldest. So
My
for
oldest is 13.
15, close to 15, 16 years, we've been planning a life together. And now together, not together no more. We plan for 15 years, but I'm supposed to be over that in 2, 3. No, that ain't how life go. That ain't how life go. Like a person can become part of your essence, and losing that person is in your. It's that person is in your essence. Like it's gonna be mornings you wake up and like because you slept good last night, it might feel like they right next to you, and then you gotta wake up and see that that's you know what I mean. Like but like most people, most people can talk it but can't walk it because everybody hate the police till it's time to call the police because you need some help.
Yeah.
Like you feel what I'm saying? Like I know people who man the streets, but then they son get killed in the streets, and then it's no man, we need to get rid of all the guns. But 2 days ago, you was the gangsters of the gangsters. So if that makes sense, like people have to have the ability to think and have some type of compassion for anything other than them and what they care about. That's the reality to it. People have to have some compassion and understand that. And let's say you the strongest of the strong.
Hmm.
Why would you think everybody can do it? If you claim to be this strong person, why would you think everybody can do it like you?
And it takes a lot to be strong. That's what I'm saying, that muscle. Because a lot of people who you deem as strong, it's not because they haven't been through something, it's because they built up the tolerance after going through a lot. And it's like, honestly speaking, I used to be a lot more emotional than I am now. But I'm like, I'm still, like feminine, still got the emotions and things of that sort. But a lot of that stuff you got to put to the side. You know what I mean? And it's like you can't afford to. My husband used to say certain things are like eggs, not the boiled ones, the ones that are still raw. And it's like if you're not careful, it can easily drop and spill over and that's it. And
Hmm.
so it's like now the logical thinking has to come forth. Now you got to think about other things, and it's not to say that you are losing the essence of vulnerability or anything of that sort. You're being stretched
Hmm.
to be able to accommodate greater territories of understanding in different realms and circumstances and things of that sort. Like that's where that development comes from. And I never knew, honestly speaking, that I'd be as strong as I am. And I'm like, how the heck? I still walk around like, how the heck did I have, where the heck did 5 kids come from? How did I get this? How did I get that? Like, how am I able to pastor over them in such a way where it's like, okay, I understand where you're coming from. Let's talk about it. Let's get down to the bottom of it. You develop that empathy because you're in that space of having to be empathetic and things of that. So, but it's and you don't know it happens overnight because you're I don't know. I don't know. But yeah.
Totally understand. Easy. What's up? You got something you wanted to say? Go ahead.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I want to tell y'all how the universe works, right? A little bit going back to my brother's story. So, in essence, basically, his best friend drove the car of the killer to the spot where my brother got killed at, right? His best friend, his like me and Rob. That's who took him. That's who took the killer to my brother. The killer put a gun in him. He took him to my brother. Fast forward years later, right? My son, who's born on my birthday, is best friends with my brother's best friend's son. That's how the universe. And when I found out, I didn't know what to think about it. Honestly, because I had to take a step back. Like, can you trust them? Do you
Mhm.
like it was so much, but that's how the universe. He was like, no, the dead, this my road dog, this my ace boon coon. And I said, just make sure, he cherish your life just as much. And they still road dogs and everything, but I did want to get that out though. It's crazy how the universe worked, like, because that's one man I hated as well, was my brother's best friend. But come to find out, his son and my son are best friends. That's one hell of a ride that I deal with also every day. But I'm gonna go ahead and mute my mic. Let's bring on somebody else.
All right.
they didn't come on, so I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna give y'all closing statements, and I'm gonna close it up. I'm gonna be tired anyway. So, you want to go, Mike? You want to go first, or Joe? You want to go first? Closing statement, or
All
Melissa? You
right.
want to say something? Let's I guess if she have any
Okay.
closing remarks first.
I don't know. I'm gonna send that back over that way. I don't know.
Okay, great. All right, go ahead, Joe.
All right. To all my listening pleasure family and friends, thank y'all for tonight. Thank y'all for allowing me to get some raw emotions out, some context into my life, into my head, which a lot of people ain't never been inside of. Thank you, Melissa, for sharing your wonderful story about um, perseverance and through everything in adversity. I do see a bright future for you and your family. Keep striving, keep doing what you do. Make sure them boys stay with Coach Rob and them until they get to high school for sure. He a great coach. Like I said always, I can't do it, but he the best mother to do it. But yeah, listening pleasure, family. Thank y'all really for real, for hearing that story. A lot of people ain't never heard me talk about my brother and his untimely demise, but I got it out tonight. So y'all got any other questions? Y'all can hit my DM and all that stuff. I'm out.
Appreciate you, bro. On you, Mike.
All right. It was nice speaking with all of y'all. And I appreciate y'all for having me on.
All righty, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. I see you
All
tomorrow.
right. Oh yeah, wait. Williamsburg. Got it.
Yep.
All right, have a good night.
All right.
Man, appreciate y'all for showing up. We apologize for starting late. Technical difficulties. We working on it, but we definitely appreciate y'all loyal people who just tend to show up for us. Man, it mean everything. I love this dialogue. Like there will be a part 3 coming because Grief don't have a timeline.
Yeah, and there was a bunch of people that wanted to get on, and we can't fault them for, some people stayed up late, so running 20, 30 minutes behind, they like,
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's gonna kill you. Um, appreciate Melissa and Joe for sharing your story, being willing to share your story. Um, your story can help somebody else. Somebody else going through something similar right now that's scared to talk. Hopefully, they heard your message, and it give them some hope that they can get through it. Um, man, grief is tricky. Don't let it overtake you. Don't let it overwhelm you. Don't be afraid to reach out. Um, but again, the sun gonna come up tomorrow. I ain't gonna tell you it'll get better with time. I ain't one of them people, cause you just gonna have some days better than others. Let's go with that. Shout out to Mittens, since she done decided that she wanted to jump in the camera. That's my daughter, Cat. Uh, Once I'm sitting here for about an hour and a half, she gonna start acting a fool. Appreciate y'all for showing up. Appreciate y'all for showing up. We'll see y'all next Wednesday, man.
yeah. So for me, like you said, man, first of all, I want to say thanks to our guest, Melissa. And I just happened to hit her and ask her because I knew her situation. And I was like, it'll be nice for you to come on and share whatever you can. Um, so I appreciate that. I appreciate Mike for talking and opening up. And I definitely appreciate Joe. Every time I get the story, I learn more and more um, about the story, about my friend, about my brother. Uh, as my family say, Joe a girly. He just don't know it. He officially a girly. So this has been my friend since the second grade, man. We ain't never been in no fight. I ain't saying we ain't never disagreed or argued. We ain't never been in no fight. We ain't never had no falling out to where we was mad and weren't talking to each other. So you know what I mean? This is a different type of friendship here. Uh, Go ahead, Joe. You was about to say something.
Nah, I just took a little sip, man. Just took a little sip.
Well, I was about to say something. I remember one time about some years ago, before you was Coach Rob, somebody said something to Joe, and people was like, "Man, y'all better not let Rob find out. Rob can come do something." Yeah, that far back.
Yeah, way back. Since man, knee high. But to close it off for the night before we close, I just want to let everyone know you are not alone going through your process. Grieving is people here for you. They have get you some therapy. Don't never think it's therapy making you weak. Get you some help. Open up, vent. You'll be relieved of just talking and letting some of that stuff out. And you never know how far it will take you. So as we close tonight, you got to remember this. Your grief is valid. Don't let nobody tell you whatever you're grieving over is not nothing to grieve over. Whether it's a pet, friend, loss, job, financial situation, health, whatever. That's your grief. And whatever it is valid. Your love is eternal. And your story is not over. Remember that it's not over. So keep going. Keep striving. Keep loving. Keep remembering. And we'll be here whenever you're ready to talk. Again and again and again. Like Mike said, it's going to be a part 3, part 4, whatever you want to do it. We're going to set it up. We're going to get more uh, professional with the stuff. We got a building, so we'll be in there shortly, so we won't even have to worry about 2, 3 different people having issues. So until next time, I'm not even going to end it with my saying tonight. I just think, sometimes certain episodes calls for certain things. So until next time, remember to be kind, and you are doing way better than what you think. Thank y'all for listening. Peace. We will see y'all next time. And always hit us with a show idea. Thanks.